it is okay to feel how you feel. There's nothing wrong with feeling an emotion, negative or positive. We're humans. We're set up to feel emotions. That's what we're made to do. And so never judge yourself for whatever is the emotion you feel. Never. It doesn't mean that you have to react to the emotion, but part of processing is honoring yourself enough to feel that emotion, let it pass through your body and bring up what it brings up, and you will be shocked at how emotions Now, the next process that we're going to talk about, this is more for a long-term solution when you really have time and you can really give yourself some intentional investigation of the emotion. I would encourage you to do this when you have time alone, but there may be people that you feel safe doing this with. Definitely, this is something that your therapist would probably encourage you to do if you are involved with a therapist, or if you have friends that they're your safe place to vent and things of this nature. But instead of just telling the story of what happened, in order to get to a deeper place of healing, we want to actually look at, be aware of the emotion so we can get the message that is coming to give, so we can get the testimony, so we can go on its merry way, right? So, what I would encourage you to do, what I'm going to give you is a few different tools for your emotional well being toolkit. Okay. These are things that you should do in a safe place. That is key. Don't do this anywhere where you feel unsafe, because basically your brain will not be able to use the parts of itself, your higher level thinking, because it's in fight or flight mode. Unless you feel safe, you're not going to be able to think at the higher level that will allow you to get the message. You're just going to be thinking like, how can I stay safe? So be in a safe place. And then this is key. This is key. Don't judge the emotion. It's not right or wrong. It is just what your experience is. It's not good or bad. It's just what was the experience, because you're at this moment witnessing it. That is how you will process it. Think of it like if you read a book. The first time you read something generally, you don't have an emotional response to just seeing the words on the paper, like just the words on paper. But when you put the person who's the sender, or what is the context of it, the timing, all of that, then it charges it with some feeling behind it. But really, you're just watching it. You're just looking at it. So I want you to consider giving yourself some quiet time by yourself. Maybe you'll have some wine or tea, whatever relaxes you. Take out your journal if you are a person that likes to write. If not, use your voice memo on your phone, or even a video. Take a video of yourself on your phone processing this emotion. Talk about the feelings that came, literally how this thing made me feel. I don't want you to spend a lot of time journaling what happened. This is the difference between a diary and a journal. A diary reflects everything that happened. A journal is what it meant to you. So instead of A, B, C, and D happened, when this happened, I felt ABC. I think one of the key things to identify in this is what are the labels on the emotion? Was I mad? Was I mad? Was I sad? Was I hurt? Was I disappointed? Was I discouraged? Give it actual words. Give the feelings words. Now, what I do know is, because we're not taught really how to process emotions, a lot of times we don't have the words for the emotions. And that is why they can't tell us what they need to tell us because we don't even know what that feeling is. It just feels uncomfortable or it just hurts. That's the only way we can describe it. So, what I would encourage you to do is, and you can Google this, there are tools that you can purchase too, but you don't have to. There are things called feelings wheel or an emotions wheel. And it will literally have like all these different emotions kind of in categories. And you can go through and see which one resonates with how you feel in this moment. I do it all the time when I'm like, I feel a way, but I don't know what it is. You look at it, and then some of the words you may not know because we don't use those words all the time. One of the words to me that is a profound emotion, depth in emotion is anguish. But that is hard to describe if you just say, like, what is anguish? But you know what anguish feels like. Some of the words on the feelings will definitely look them up. You could even do a synonym search for what the word is so you can see words that are similar to it. Okay. So identify it and then honor that feeling. It is okay to feel how you feel. There's nothing wrong with feeling an emotion, negative or positive. We're humans. We're set up to feel emotions. That's what we're made to do. And so never judge yourself for whatever is the emotion you feel. Never. It doesn't mean that you have to react to the emotion, but part of processing is honoring yourself enough to feel that emotion. Let it pass through your body and bring up what it brings up, and you will be shocked at how much relief you feel after you let it go. It's not going to stay long. It seems like it is, and that's why we're shutting down so we won't have to feel that because when it first comes up, oh, it feels terrible. But if you let it come up and let it out to say what it needs to say, you won't even feel that pain. It's going to feel like a release, like a real release. I know, like, you can equate it. I don't want to, for those of us who have had natural childbirth, I don't really want to put it in that category because I don't want you to think of it like every time I process an emotion, it's going to be like going to labor. No, but you know how you're in so much pain from the birth of your child. But then when you push the baby out, it's this sense of relief like, huh, that's how it feels to process an emotion. At first, it hurts. But then as you get accustomed to doing it, it's just like a relief of that message has come through and you are calm on the other side of it. And I want everyone to get to that. I just really do. And we all can. We all can. I want you to, I know there's something in you that's telling you, like, it's easy for you to say you're happy all the time. I wasn't. I was not. I really, really wasn't. I was very depressed most of the time. And even when I wasn't depressed, I just always was waiting for the next bad thing to happen. That's how I know that this is possible. I want you to have faith in yourself because this is not unique for me. It's just I had to learn the tools. And now that I know the tools, I want everybody to know the tools. So I'm going to share with whoever will listen what the tools are. You can do this. I want you to have faith in yourself. No, like it's going to get easier and easier. Every time you're tempted to stop, just keep going. And you might stop for a moment and then you pick it back up later. Sometimes it will be overwhelming because you have lots of unprocessed emotions competing for your attention to listen to the message that they're bringing. You'll just have to take it in stride, little by little, what you can do that day or what you can do that moment. Then when you feel that you have another moment to try again, do it again. Just keep going. It's not about perfection, it's about progression. And everyone can do this. So, the last thing we're going to honor the emotions. I'm looking. Okay. And then once you have honored the emotion, you've said, I felt abandoned. I felt discouraged. I felt disappointed. Once you acknowledge that emotion, the message starts to come through. You will feel it in yourself. I don't necessarily say you'll hear it, but your mind will start to get clarity. And you can say, why do I feel this way? Most of the time, it will give you a memory of another time you felt that way. And you want to kind of dig into when is the first time you felt that way, or when you first recall feeling this way. Then that's the origin story of this pain, the origin story of this emotion. You can then look at the wound of when you were hurt in that way initially and recognize that is not happening now. You're not currently being hurt by the thing that happened previously. It's just your memory of that bringing up the thought, which is making your body process that pain and every subsequent pain that was like that. Okay. It's not happening now, though. So you can talk to it in a similar comforting way that I was telling you about when we talked about the negative self talk and you talk nice to yourself. This is the chance for you to do that, to be who you needed in those moments when the pain was inflicted. If it was a sense that someone wronged you, what can you do now to right that wrong for yourself? I'll just use me because, abandonment is probably my major wound that I've had to deal with. When those things come up, and I can go back to the origin story of my mother not raising me primarily, I can say, what can I do now? One, I'm no longer a little girl. So I don't require a mother or another adult to come in and care for me. I can care for myself. Whatever I need, I can provide for myself. So there's just the piece of that automatically that takes away the fear that I will be left and abandoned and something bad will happen to me. No, it won't. Not on this day because I'm now a grown adult. So the thing that I needed as a child from my mother or caregivers, I no longer need. So what I do need, I can provide for myself. And that is how the wounds begin to heal. Yes, you can do this. I just need you to know at the core of who you are, you can do this. I promise. I promise you, you can do this. Okay, so next up, we're going to talk about this week's Cite Your Source. Right.